guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here, and welcome back to an all-new Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Zombies video. So today I want to talk about the new storyline with 9 as well as Voyage of Despair. So there is a new boss zombie within both of these maps. This boss is going to be on both of the maps, and it seems to be some sort of big arachnid. You see that it actually spews acid from its mouth, which is very, very similar to the spider boss that we had on Zetsubo no Shima. So it seems to be some sort of spider slash arachnid creature. Well, anyways, I have noticed from this that the head looks very, very similar to the Nova 6 crawlers that we had within the Ether storyline, because this is the Chaos storyline, which is apparently completely separate and distinct from the original. Now, with things that Trek do, they do it for a reason, and I can't help but feel like the heads being similar is for a purpose. And even though the storylines are completely separate, and there has been many different, similarities between the two storylines that people have been able to figure out, such as the poster on Blood of the Dead could potentially be Diego. That's been one thing that a lot of people have been speculating. Well, anyways, regardless of all those different things that people have been noticing, within this new storyline, there is going to be no apothicons, I would assume. There is going to be no keepers. There's going to be no Dr. Monty. I mean, I think so. We'll just have to wait and see. There's going to be no Element 115. The reason why the zombies are here, and why the perks are here, and why the war weapons are here is now going to have a completely new lore, which is this artifact, which is to do with all these alchemical processes, which creates this black magic, which actually transforms people into zombies. It spawns in the mystery box, it spawns in the perks, it spawns in the war weapons, etc, etc. However, the weird thing is this zombie head looks so similar to the Nova 6 crawlers. Now, if you're unaware about the storyline of the Nova 6 crawlers, essentially these were Group 935's attempt to create the Vril Ya. Now, these are essentially beings which have telepathic and other parapsychological abilities, and essentially they are what the Keepers are. The Keepers are what look after the universe, they protect everything and stuff like that. They are essentially the Keepers of the universe. They stop the corruption created by the Dark Ether. And then we also have the apothicons. Now, that is why the Keepers' heads look very similar to the Nova 6 crawlers, because as I was saying, they were Group 935's failed attempt at creating the Vril Ya. So that's why the heads look very similar. However, a lot of the apothicons' heads look very similar too. For example, the Magua head, as well as the apothicons that we had on Revelations, the heads look very similar to the Nova 6 crawlers as well as the Keepers' heads once again. And that is because the apothicons and the Keepers were once one. However, some of the Keepers became corrupted by the Dark Ether, and they went on to become evil and became the apothicons. After eons and eons of being trapped within the Dark Ether, they evolved or devolved, they became corrupt, and that's why the heads look very similar. So I find it very weird how the head of this new boss looks very similar to the Nova 6 crawlers. It would infer that there is some sort of connection here, because as I said, Trek do everything for a reason. The reason why all these bosses have had very similar heads, the reason why the Keepers, the Nova 6 crawlers, as well as the apothicons' heads look similar, is because they are all related. So why does this boss within this storyline, which is apparently completely separate from the original, have a similar head? I don't know, because it doesn't make any sense, unless for some weird reason it might be an apothicon or something like that, and maybe somehow the storylines connect. They might not connect at this current point in time, but they could connect within the future. The Dark Ether could have corrupted this world too. Maybe Dr. Monty is not only the, the overlooker, the ruler of the Ether storyline, but potentially even the Chaos storyline too. And maybe these storylines, although they might be completely separate and within completely separate universes at this current point in time, maybe they will bleed within each other within the DLC season. I don't know. I don't really know. No one knows, to be honest. We're just going to have to wait and see how things play out. I just find it weird how the heads look so similar, but Jason has described both storylines as being completely distinct and separate from one another, so I don't really know how things are going to play out. But let me know your thoughts on this down in the comment section down below. As always, anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Black Ops 4 Zombies news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.